and welcome everyone to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I am Jen Tilley, and I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Oh my gosh, there's already so many comments in there. Hello, Patty and Sammy and Kevin and Willow. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you guys in here. I love you so much, and I'm happy that you are here, and happy Sunday, you guys. Getting into the music groove. I love it. I love to be able to play that beautiful music that Robert put together for us. It's just so neat to just like hear the playing of my flute and the meditative space that was created, and then what was created from that. It's just so awesome. Hello, Willow, back at you again. Man, this week has been crazy, you guys. Crazy, awesome, and full. I would love to hear how your week has been. If it's been anything like mine, it's been filled with all different sorts of things that were pretty unexpected. And shouts to the divine dudes and dudettes of this great get together. Yes, Robert, definitely. Shouts out to you, and thank you again. Oh my gosh. And hello to anybody else that I missed that is watching this, anyone that's new. Welcome. So yeah, man, I was like thinking about, like, before I go on the show, I think about like the recap of my week, and we've had big things like the full moon coming in and all the different things that I want to share with you, and just what I've kind of discovered. One of the self journeys that I was looking at a lot with myself this week is the harsh self critic. And I was watching it a lot with the judgments of myself, like when I'm speaking to certain people. And it's generally the ones that are like closest to me and that I care the most about, of what their opinions are. I find that I am the harshest judger of what I'm actually saying, and it trips me up with my words. It does all sorts of different things with my mind. And I've talked before on this show about the emotional lenses that we create. And I got this information, the emotional lenses terminology, from someone called Elaine de Botton. And I don't know how many of you out there have actually listened to Elaine de Botton or watched like the School of Life videos that are on YouTube. But he's a brilliant man, put together a lot of really rad information about how to heal yourself and different concepts and theories. And anyway, if you get a chance, I'd recommend checking that out. But Elaine de Botton, had talked about emotional lenses. And it was as I was learning about reality, and it was really at this like an awakening point where I had felt that I had awakened into a reality that was like opposite of what I believed. That it was like things that I used to say and think were not what I thought anymore. Like it was as if I had broke the mold of what I was conditioned to believe. And all of a sudden I'm like, why am I acting this way when I don't believe I don't believe this way? Like showing up for my parent in a way where it's like what I believed they wanted me to be, and that's not who I ever actually wanted to be. So why was I showing up as that? And so getting back to like the judger me, this harsh self-critic, and these emotional lenses that we end up creating, and they're created with these actions that we're taking, not showing up as ourselves, like, or just judgment of selves, like any kind of emotions that are going on in balance literally distorts and twists our reality, as if we've put glasses on and we're only seeing that through our traumas. And I just like, even speaking of traumas, like when we have, let's say, disagreements with people that we love and care about, it is very hard to find a rational resolve within that space. Mostly like or like a solution to not come back and not to have that cycle back in to our realities. Is based off of the trauma that we end up taking on in that moment. We end up traumatizing ourselves and don't end up really learning the lessons effectively on how to make those changes. And that comes to the fact that we get these emotional lenses, and it distorts our reality. We end up projecting out to people that, let's say, remind us of our mothers. They look like our mothers, or they do some kind of attribute, and then we end up acting different because of it. When we have unresolved emotional issues with people, we end up placing that into our immediate realities towards people that aren't the ones that held the original trauma. I hope that made sense. It is just is things that they're things that I'm looking at deeply, like how to make effective changes with myself. How am I showing up? How can I continue to have continual coherence with my loved ones and also with myself? And I can't have a coherent relationship with others if I do not have it with myself. And we're taught this, you can't love anyone until you love yourself. That's something that I think all of us were told, but it is true. It is absolutely true. And so I've just been really watching myself, and as the moon gets more and more powerful, and I can say that it it's important to stay balanced for me during that time. Like when I know more, as I've learned more about astrology and how much that actually affects me personally, what I learned about the moon and how it controls the tides of the earth, and how we're made up of, depending on the study that you read, 70 to 90% water, that we are very much affected by that. This is why the school teachers are taught that students might act different. So they have different preparations for that. The hospitals get prepared, the police stations get prepared. But first and foremost, it's me who needs to be prepared. That emotional, like the tides of the emotions, the lunacy that we're holding in, that the luna, the moon, the power that really and energies that are happening in our realities, but they are what's happening inside our internal reality. And that's why it's important for us to take that responsibility if we want to have a life that is coherent with not just ourselves, but those that we love, and have more compassion as well, like staying aware of that stuff so that you can understand that other people might be going through stuff that they just don't even, they're completely unaware of. They're ignorant to that information. And I find that when, like, the more that I have learned, just the compassion that comes in the with others, and also with myself. And that's why, like, with this with this full moon, like what I wanted to let go of. And again, I've shared the last several moons that I've limited what I'm asking to let go of in the lunar cycles to just one single thing. Before, I used to just write down everything that I wanted to let go of and just kind of show the awareness of all the things I knew needed to be done. But when you splatter it like that, it is hard to really take your focus to make the like effective changes. It's like multitasking. None of us are actually efficient. Well, very, very few of us are actually good at multitasking. We might be good at one thing, but when you start to sidetrack, it is impossible to really do 100% on one full task. So you're really basically half-assing all of the tasks. You're lessening your great abilities to complete the said one single task by doing many tasks at once. And that's what I found. The same kind of concept really would translate into saying, I want to let go of 16 things this month, but really by taking the focus of one. Like last month, I did the focus on not being lazy. And when I took that one point and just like challenged myself with my thoughts, especially, like everything comes down to the thoughts and what's going on in here. And then I get caught, like I get to see uh where I'm actually at by what I'm externalizing into it, what I'm speaking, what my actions are all actually saying. And so, anyway, so last month when I did not being lazy, I can't even tell you the explosion of what happened with, like, I can tell you in with words, saying my business exploded. It was unbelievable. And it was, exactly what I have been working for, getting the messages out, but also being able to financially be able to have that roof over my head and the food in my belly. There's like, we have to make money in order to live. And so, anyway, money is an interesting one because I've gone down all different realms with it. But I just like it was about just trying to do what it is that I love and I'm passionate about. And healing is what I love and I'm passionate about. That's why I take the time out to do this podcast and come hang out with you guys. It's why I do massage work. And even though I understand that there is so much more that can be done than just a simple massage, but even that, like, sometimes less is more. And I'm going down that avenue, just like checking that out. And man, it has been a really awesome week to shine lights on that. So yeah, this month, though, like last month's idea of not being lazy and with the full moon, it's like I've put that into motion. I've got that into a habituation. Like when you do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So that aspect is still being like the lights are still being shown on it. And so if I felt like I could still do lazy this month, like if I needed to continue on letting that go, I don't need to come up with a new one. But with me, I did this month. I felt that judging and the way like my harsh critic and the harsh judgments are absolutely affecting me in all parts of my reality. And the times that it shines so solidly through is when the moon is full, emotions are awry, and it's just like learning that beautiful balance in that space, and that self-love, and bringing that compassion for myself that I would extend on a mere stranger. And why is it that I struggle doing that for myself? Well, that is what I'm working on stopping, and that is what I work on a daily basis, is learning that self-love and listening to what my heart is saying. And yeah, man, I'm grateful to be here with you guys. I had kind of like interesting things that happened, in the sense that I had one of my sisters reach out back out to me. I don't know like absolutely everything that I've shared on this. That's awesome. Yes, working on that too. Awesome, Patty. Yay. See, like I said, this is why we do this. This is why we come together and we sit and we're on the same path and we do our animal card draws and we just like, it just feels good. Like take a breath and just feel that. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome, guys. I love you so much. Um, yeah, I became I've gone on lots of journeys where at many points I've become very estranged from my family. And what I've reconceptualized my idea of what families are now. um and really in healing the traumas of my past, I've really just redefined my perspective of what my family means to me and what their roles are, if they have roles in my life, um, and the way that they can be within the space that is, with love, compassion, care, all of like the good things. I think honestly, we're all just doing the best that we can, and I we don't mean harm to other people, you know. And it's not about you when somebody's like like when they've done something that you perceive has hurt you. They are hurting. They are in their own spot, in their own space, dealing with their own demons and their own stuff. Or maybe it is something that they love to do and they like that aspect. Like we need both sides, for this world to operate. If we're going to have good and bad and right and wrong, it's all going to be in there. And so I just want people to do what they want to do. And if that means to go off and do like a bunch of drugs, and that's the life that you want, and that's what you want to do, I want you to do that, because that's your life. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to say those things. I would say I want you to be you. I want that beautiful soul to shine through. but I want you to find your happiness and follow your heart and follow your path. I'm no one to judge. I don't know what is right for you. I don't know if that path is right or wrong for you. I don't. I can know from my own things that I've learned on my journey, but that's not you. You have personally lived every single day in your life, and the story that you tell yourself is the story that you want to be telling yourself. And until you want to make the effective changes, you know, I'm here to just love you where you're at. And sometimes that looks like people that I like a sibling, let's say, that's not in my immediate reality, and we're not talking all the time like maybe we once used to. Doesn't mean that I don't love you to pieces. Doesn't mean that I can't see that beautiful heart and soul shining through. It's being malleable and not forcing a situation in the hand to look exactly like maybe I was told it was supposed to. You know, like being best friends with or like the parent doing this certain role. No, now like my relationships are very different, and I broke that mold. So there's been estrangement, if you will, in the space, but in my heart it's like it just grew and got bigger. My phone is always on, in the sense that if you want to reach out, you know, I'm here to talk. I definitely have found that when you work on healing yourself and loving yourself, and you're on this constant path of that, that there, the world just has felt like it got smaller in a lot of ways. I don't know if any of you have felt that out there. But I know that for me, it's felt like it got smaller, but it's not that it's in a negative way. It's just like, I just don't have as much different human energy coming into my reality all the time, and I get a different focus on myself. And I realize that the people that are coming in to my reality now are those that are attracted to that same path of self love and healing. And it's, I wouldn't say the easiest road. I think it's the easiest road in the long run. But in the immediate reality, it's a lot easier to be lazy, or to be and I'm just speaking like for myself and for my own observations, but it's easier to just keep with that same habituation. It's already in motion. So stopping that and creating a whole new space, it seems like immediately right now the harder one to do. But I would tell you it's so worth it. But it's also just, it's it's just really it's just really an awesome journey if you just take the time to look at it. And I'm grateful that I got to hear from somebody that I hadn't talked to in a long time. And I think it's a funny one in sharing this. And I'm going to take a drink of water because I can tell like my throat chakra is like, oh, you're talking about some stuff that is sensitive. So hold on. In my old life, I've talked a lot about this. I used to be a caretaker, and I just thought that's how you show up for people. And I took a lot. I mean, there's the word taken there. I took a lot of lessons that people needed to learn, and I learned a lot about how unhealthy that behavior is in my own self-esteem fundraiser, and the lengths that I would go to be able to help other people out. And I had this idea in my head that if I just kept doing that, that it would spread. You know, if I could just teach one other person to do it and they taught another. And I just believed so much in the way that I had been caretaking, though it had been very sick. But the message behind it was always love. I was always seeking love, but the way that I showed up for a lot of people in my past was very unhealthy. The way that I showed up for some of, like, one of my siblings in particular was very unhealthy. And and that put me in positions that could have brought about a lot of hurt. And there was a lot that I got to learn about setting boundaries and what it means to actually be there for somebody that I care about. And I had this beautiful opportunity, and this is what I love about reality. This is the most psychedelic reality, the one that we're in, but also working with meditation. And it was through this deep meditation, no psychedelic usage. It's so like, for those of you that have not meditated or done psychedelics, it can be a very similar experience within those spaces. And this one in particular, I had been meditating and I went through my judgment day. I've shared this before on this podcast, but it was really in teaching me the greatest lesson, that I do believe that judgment day, and we're talking about judgment because that's what I'm letting go of. But I believe judgment day is here right now. I was taught that, someday we would be judged. I was raised in a very strong religion, and that we would all have our judgment day. And I honestly think it's happening right now. We're not just judging ourselves, but we're judging others. We're in constant judgment. And I think, well, what would judgment day look like? I mean, really, what would it look like? And before, I would have thought that we would have been standing all like billions, I guess, of us all standing in one space. And then we would have like God standing up there and telling us all of the things that we did right or wrong. And now Susie Q over there knows that Paul over here was actually lying and he was doing this stuff. I mean, what was it in my mind that Judgment Day was going to look like? Because it kind of looked like that a bit, that, oh, it's going to come to them someday, or it could change, like it was karma, that like karma would be what got them. And it was just all of this whole judgment. So with this meditation, I went through my own personal judgment day. And I think that we learn through our own stories and metaphor. And at the time that I had this meditation, I was studying a lot into Hinduism and about Shiva and Vishnu. And this is why at that time it was represented, the godlike figures were represented as that, as opposed to it being God and Jesus. I think that we get the messages based off of our own symbol sets, if that makes, well, I think that makes sense. So, in that meditation, it showed me how I had loved wrong. It showed me all of the disgusting sickness of caretaking, and it was devastating. It was devastating because it was completely inverse to what my intention was. My intention was love, but it was filled with manipulations and my own judgments, and stealing the lessons from the people that I was caretaking. Sometimes you just got to hit rock bottom in order to make those changes, or those people, that's what they really want. There's so many levels to caretaking, but I got my judgment day in this life. I got it in ways from an external reality, but very much in a meditation space. And then it was, after going and being seen, like, or shown every person that I had loved wrong and how I had done it, was the most devastating feeling I had ever felt. But after each time I had been shown that, it felt very much like what Scrooge had gone through, where he was the ghost of Christmas past taking you all through like that, and you're able to perceive like how you had loved wrong, or done like the wrongdoings that you had done, and the purity of the moments, uh, and and every time I got done with one of those, I just like stood back up in that space and I said again, I love you. Like I just wanted to see and just heal and get done and find out. Like I just knew love was the answer. And then once I had seen my entirety of my life is when I then met Vishnu, and then he showed me how that the love had been heard, that it had been felt, and that every one of those people that had that I had seen and I had perceived loving wrong were standing there with these green beaming hearts. And again, green is the color of that heart chakra, and it was just beaming the love right back to me. And not only that, but all the ripple effects of all the people that were affected because of how I had done that wrong. And it was the most beautiful and profound moment of my entire one of the most beautiful and profound moments of my entire existence. Up until that point, it was. And then when I came back and it was like I woke up in opposite land, and I realized that the world was judging, and that the true judgment day was already here. And so I've been on a journey with judgment, and I've been such a harsh judger to myself, and and I've talked about that on the show. But this month, it is really a focus where I just want to have that free flow of conversation and not regret in that moment, like, oh, did I say that wrong? And I use the word regret because it feels very much like that in that space. And then I start tripping over my words, and I start questioning myself, and I start doubting myself. And that's not the happy place. Having fun and being happy in this life uh, is what it's about. And only I can actually create that. If I can't perceive it, then I can't have it. And if I'm judging myself and being mean and harsh on myself, I can't have what I really think that we could really accomplish for our lives here. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be on this journey, and I'm grateful for, you know, like being able to heal from like relationships that I very much loved and cared about, and the abandonment that one can feel, or opening up a space to allow room for another to enter. It may not be this person that I felt could only hold this endearing part of my heart. It could actually be this person that has like their own uniqueness to them and similarities to this person I had loved. But now I made room for them, and in so many ways they're profoundly greater because they are on that same wavelength. And um and so it was rad to be able to have people like always come back into my life and touch base, and be able to say, hey, I love you, please come and let's share in the healing and do this, and figure out how to have fun and do this life. And I'm here if that's the path you want. Come on, you know. And so the more the merrier on that realm. And that's what I'm building. And every once in a while certain people will pop their head back in, and what a gift that is, really, what a gift. And I'm learning about that, and I'm learning to watch my words more, and the more I'm communicating with people on an intimate level. Like I shared with you guys, like I started this podcast to reach more people, and this was like I'm in my house, you know, and now I'm going into people's homes, and I'm having way more connection with random strangers, and loving them in the space, and learning what their mindsets and their psyches are, and how to talk to them, and what to share and what not to share. And like it's really a cool world. Really, I just am clicking. I see some comments. Jen, what are you doing for yourself now to restore yourself energy, since you're giving so much of you to help others, if it's okay to, and love? And I think yeah, that is an excellent question, Patty. Thank you so much for asking. um the ways that I restore myself, like, first of all, when I'm in a situation with somebody and I'm recognizing, like, right away, I'm in a constant balance of my energy. So, with the stuff we do with our meditations and talking about the wiring system coming out of our feet, I'm in a constant flux of letting that energy flow through me and not stay. And also, really in that balance of what's mine and what is not mine. I also look very closely on, people wouldn't be coming in my life if they weren't like showing me something about myself. So finding that like commonality, and sometimes it could be like like maybe I don't feel that I'm that way at all. And I've like maybe I was before, and it's a shining of the light. Oh wow, look at how far I've come, an opportunity to love myself there. But it also is an opportunity to go, you know, well, it's just to learn, what can I get from that? Where am I doing that to myself? And that is really, really helpful. And to restore my energy, stretching. This is one that really has come, like, it's like I've gotten a little bit busier, so I haven't been stretching as much, and I was stretching like all throughout my day before, and like first thing in the morning I was getting up and doing like this whole routine, and then it's like my routine kind of got off. So it's not that I wasn't stretching, it was like I was shortening the amount that I actually needed, right? So I get these opportunities, and my body will tell me like, oh gosh, you're really struggling, like even bending over, touching your toes. So I'm not always perfect at it, but my body, like I have ample opportunities to find ways to check in with myself, and it is a constant checking. It's a discipline, and my breath is very important. So centering my breath, and just finding that calm space, and then also having that vision of who it is that I want to be and what I'm working towards, and what are those steps, and being imbalanced is blocking that. So giving so much of me to help others. Truth is, um I don't think it's about a give. Hmm. I love your questions. I love it. Giving so much of myself to help others. Like when I'm sitting here right now, Patty, there's an aspect that I guess I'm giving of myself, because I'm giving of my time and my energy. But it doesn't feel like, "Oh, I'm giving of myself," like, in that other inverse way, like caregiving, where I just come and I'd be like, "Oh, I just need to turn on the TV," and then I turn on the TV and I would just, like, zone out, like, I couldn't even tell you what was on the TV. It was just like, I could just go tabula rasa, just click my brain off. I was just so mentally drained and exhausted. I don't I don't do that anymore. I've learned tools to, like, when I first wake up in the morning, like these disciplines that I do. When I'm not doing it, like I'll get flare ups, like really, like and that's it. Like you're there. There are moments like like if you stuff your issues, they go into your tissues. So I have one where my hip will flare up. Like I'll get pain in my like relational area, let's say, like and that will, like, they're all clues to like needing to balance my energy, to stop, take care of myself. I've given too much, right? And so it's a constant balance of that, really, um and not giving too much of myself to others. And I get an opportunity to learn that sometimes I say too much. Sometimes, like, there's aspects that does happen, but um I give back to myself. I think that would be the answer. If I feel like I've given too much, then I really reevaluate that. um I don't overload my appointments. Like, I would say that there's people that want to, like, I probably could do 7 massages a day or more, with the amount of people that have been coming. But it's almost too much physically, and I don't also need that, like, level of fundos money. But it really is like checking in with myself all the time, and caring about myself all the time, and finding that space. I would say that's the journey, of where I am now on trying to figure out what the difference of caretaker and taking care. um and that would be probably the difference. I take care of myself first. If my body, or me, it's me, if I feel like I've given too much, I can reflect it, let's say, in a physical way. I won't, will set my boundaries with work, or with certain people. But yeah, did that answer your question? I hope so. um and oh, Amy's listening. Hi, Amy. Oh my goodness, she's saving me, and I appreciate the gift. I was frozen and couldn't even accept love, and I feel her melting my ice. Amy, I love you, and it's really rad that you're watching the show today. It's really rad that you're tuning in. Amy is one of my clients, and I just got an opportunity to start working with her, and it's really, really cool. And she is doing a lot of clarity is coming through. And it's about right now, man. It's about learning how to love yourself right now. And we don't know how much time we get on this earth. We don't know, other than like one guarantee is none of us are getting out of here alive, not in this physical body. And it's about enjoying the moments and all that we're creating in our realities now, and loving, like, we're magnets, man. Keep creating those that are on that same beautiful path we are. And yeah, cool. Sammy, I am finding it hard to be consistent in my healing process, but I'm going easy on myself about it and just doing what I feel able to do. Yeah, consistency is the key. And I know Sammy, Amy too, like both you two have some real serious tough medical stuff on your plate. And I just love and care about you guys to the pieces. There's a different level of psychology you deal with when you are um, navigating chronic issues and pain. And and so, just getting back up. It's like that song, Sammy, you sent to me. I get knocked down, but I get back up again, and you'll never keep me down. I used to listen to that when I was in high school. I loved that song. And it is like that. You get back up, and you look at yourself, and you listen to your heart. And sometimes you say, but I'm going easy on myself about it. Not beating yourself up is that judgment, Sammy. Don't be beating yourself up. You've done it enough. Your body is already showing you that, and taking that love and care. And I love that you take that time to go out to nature, and that's what you share with us here, and you bring that energy back over to this space. And you guys, I'm telling you, it's healing those. It's letting go of those past traumas and not giving them power anymore, not letting them have the power over you. You need that power. You need that inside. And so when you're struggling, taking that time and doing the things that you really love, or gathering those people that you care about close to you. And my dog is knocking some stuff down. Okay, sorry. um yeah, so Sammy, thank you for sharing that. And I think it's important to share that in this space, because it's about healing. And many of us are dealing with some real serious medical issues. And it's a space that we can talk about that. And it's a space where we can come and find a way to breathe through it and find a way to navigate. And my big thing is find novelty, find happiness, find a way to be silly, find a way to just do it different. There's enough suffering out there. Most everybody out there that you're going to meet is suffering in some way, and they're so lost within that space. And it's up to you to change that perspective about your own reality, because it's all a perspective. And there's a reason that you're exactly where you are right now, and we talk about that. And so I think that we live and die every day. Every time we go to bed, it's a death. When we finally go to sleep, and when we wake up, we're reborn. We're constantly going through a series of deaths and rebirths. We're constantly changing different dimensional realities every time we go into another room, and there's another energetic space there. It's portals into different realities that are happening when the full moon is shining bright. It is all giving us the answers on how to heal ourselves. And yeah, it's pretty rad that we're here. Oh, we read this already, Patty. And thank you, Amy, for being here and popping on, and Sammy sharing that beautiful balance, Jen. The weather has been horrible for a couple of weeks, which is making it tough. I am doing okay though. Sammy, do you because Sammy, for those of you that are tuning in, lives in England, and some of the viewers too from here also live like up in Seattle. And I lived in Seattle for a long time, so I always kind of felt a connection because we get a lot of rain and clouds. Do you ever use vitamin D lamps at all? I know when I was up in Washington, I would have vitamin D lamps around my house and in my workplaces, and I would just turn them on. They're like bug zapper lights. And I would just sit and like do some meditations and breathe in front of it. And honestly, energetically, it made a very big difference. So I would be very interested to hear what you're doing, yeah, to get some sunshine into your life. I would also go. They have different kinds of like tanning beds out there, and I would also just like every like so often go in and just like they would have these beds that were low UV and you could lay like not like because some of the beds you can only be in there for like 10 minutes. I would go in the one where you could go really a long time. And oh well, it just depended. If I was in a rush and I just felt like I needed that, I would go zap myself with that. And so like just kind of going back into like because I'm in like a total sunshine state now and I can feel the power of that. I know that I miss the rain, Sammy. Like I just went through like an inverse to what you were going through. We got a little drizzle here for the first time, but I literally went through the longest period of my life without rain. And that was hard. I feel a little bit better. I mean, it wasn't a hard rain. Like, I guess in some ways I wish it had been. But I was just grateful for the cloud coverage coming in and the mist. And that feeling of the washing away that rain can really bring. So it's interesting to go like to a total opposite reality of where I think you are right now, Sammy, where you're just gray and clouds. So it's creating the sunshine, and it's also like whether you do the vitamin D lamp or not, it's meditating and maybe like imagining that sun on your face, imagining what that warm feel would be, and creating that space, because that power is inside of you too. um I like what I did for the rain was I ended up turning on well, I didn't, Zach did. It was very, very sweet of him. And I had been talking about it. And then he just like ended up just turning that on and just like sitting there and just listening to the sound of the rain was like heaven sent. So sometimes you just gotta create it. And I guess that not guess that's my main point to this. Siddharth, welcome. And thank you. Very beautiful. I do have a sun lamp and do all sorts to help. Okay, all right. So you do have something there. Um, all right. So use it? Anyway, that's kind of my scopes on that, and I know I'm happy to hear you have a sun lamp. I imagine it's probably pretty popular also in England. Um, so yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sending you so much sunshine, right? Well, it's nighttime here, but when it like I'm sending you sunshine like tomorrow when the sun is up, I'll be thinking about you. So experience that. And I'll just start sending you sunshine energy, and anyone else that's watching this, just think about Sammy whenever that sun comes out and just send her so much energy of the sun. If we could come together as a group and do anything for the people in here, let's do that. I love that idea. So I'm cultivating sun for you right now, and I love you. Yeah, I love you. Okay, sorry guys. Did I don't know if my mic cut off. I hit this like side of the mouse and I wasn't too sure on that. Let me get the banner back up there. I like that. There we go. So anyway, sending sun to you, Sammy. I think we have a break in the rain next week and going to enjoy every moment. Awesome. Well, if you want to do a trade, if you would like to send the rain to California, so we can do this opposite thing, rain to this area and sunshine to you. So that's what I'm creating. I like it. So, okay. Let's do this because I have a dinner that we're gonna do tonight. And so let's do an animal card reading with each other and see what's going on with this week. We'll do a short meditation, and then I'm gonna pop over next door and do some dinner. We have a few new people here. We have Joe's family, his mom and dad, who are just awesome, and his cousin and Kala have come back over here, and then me and Zach. So it will be a good, nice dinner. And last night we had Amy, who we were just talking to, over for a little Halloween party, and that was a lot of fun. So yes, rain to California. So let's like keep that up for right now. Okay. Lots of animal medicine for me this week. I don't know for you guys, but oh man, it's been crazy and awesome, and I love it. So let's do a drawing of what is helping us this week, where we're at, and what is hindering us. Okay. So here came upside down. What is helping us is the upside down possum. Possums are awesome. I was just possum awesome. I'm a poet, you guys, and it just happened. That's awesome. I was just talking about an opossum yesterday. And you guys, you know what I just drew for where we're at right now is the grouse, which I think is so appropriate. The grouse is the sacred spiral. So we're literally spiraling just beautiful energy into this area. And we have Wilso back in here. Welcome back. I did your translation, no hable español, or poquito español, muy poquito. But I'll pop up your translation here on Facebook later. And so, all right. So now we're going to what is helping us. Okay. Why? Do, do, do. Got clumsy fingers. There we go. Oh, that's so interesting. I just looked up upside down antelope. Okay. Oh, and the card right on top. Side note, snake. Did I? Yeah, I said the card's down upside down, and that was the one that was right there. So we also have the snake in our reality, bringing about change. I honestly believe this is quite a powerful reading. Let's start with possum. 129. Diversion. So, what is helping us is diversion. Opossum, roll over. Are you really dead or just playing possum? Was it something I said? You know, I had something I said that kind of came back to bite me, and kind of funny because, yeah, it's very appropriate. And honestly, like, it, it wasn't a bad bite in the sense that I needed to learn that lesson. And so, anyway, it's a very good reading. I like it. It definitely helped me. In the reverse position, a possum may be warning you against getting caught in the high drama of your life's present scenario. Close your eyes and dramatize. Close your eyes and dramatize. May keep you, oh, it's in quotes. Close your eyes and dramatize. May keep you from seeing the truth of a situation. You may buy into melodrama in yourself or others. You might as well play dead if you are justifying what you are doing with a tragic victim routine. If this concept does not apply to your situation, take a look at the possibility that you may have recently been giving excuses for why you don't want to do something instead of telling the truth. In fearing to hurt someone's feelings, you may have trapped yourself in a justification pattern. Oh my gosh, that is so like also the truth. Like trapping yourself, trying not to hurt somebody's feelings because you're caretaking, and then the justifications and judgments that come with the justifying that behavior. I'm too sick, I'm too poor, I'm watching my weight, I'm too short, tall, sad, busy, tired, etc. Um, that's in fearing sorry, I got all lost and backwards on that. In fearing to hurt someone's feelings, you may have trapped yourself in a justification pattern of I'm too sick, I'm too poor, I'm watching my weight, I'm too short, tall, sad, busy, tired, etc. In having to defend yourself with excuses, you may have lost the point. You don't have to defend your right to be. The exercise is in learning to politely say that something would not be appropriate for you at this time. That's all. You owe no one an excuse. Learn to imitate a possum and play dead in the sense that the best strategy is no defense. In assuming the viewpoint of no defense, you have chosen the right to be who and what you are with no games involved. The proper use of diversion is to know when you do not need to use diversion at all. You owe no one an excuse for how you feel or what you choose to experience. You guys, I think that is a medicine we really needed to hear, like based off of Patty, Sammy, Amy, me, like all you guys. Like, this is, I love doing this. It is so good because it's so appropriate. And like I said, we're all on that same, yeah, see, boom, exactly. Yeah, right in line with the conversation today. All of the things. Yeah. Boom. Okay, you guys, here's a grouse of the sacred spiral. Grouse of the sacred spiral, leading us on to reach the everlasting heights, what we can live as one, or where we can live as one. Grouse once flocked in abundance throughout North America, but now, even on the plains where these birds were so plentiful, there is an absence of them. Many Plains Indian tribes dance the grouse dance to honor these birds. The movement of the dance follows a spiral, which is the ancient symbol of birth and rebirth, the ribbed tunnel of eternal return. The sacred spiral is also one of the oldest known symbols for personal power. When you think of grouse medicine, visualize a whirlpool or even a tornado, for the sacred spiral will take you to the center. The spiral is a metaphor for a personal vision and enlightenment. Many initiates on vision quests paint spirals on the bodies and believe that the great mystery will favor them with visions of power and purpose because of this symbol. The whirling dervishes of certain Sufi orders are masters of the spiral dance and can transcend to higher states of awareness through the repetition of this sacred movement. It is said that dervishes can travel to the center of the spiral and return with any magical power they choose. In the dervish state, one enters a great silence and has direct communication with the creator. By spinning clockwise or counterclockwise, this dervish draws or repulses specific energies. See, that's a good one, Patty. Like, what do you do to balance your energy? Go dance like a whirling dervish, like a Sufi dancer, and dance in the opposite. So turn to your left to re like to repulse is the word, that energy from you. And it doesn't have to be tons. You could spin 3 times, 4 times to make it a conjunction point. 4 points of the cross, conjuncted, and that would be another way. I love that. And the Sufi dancing, like I've had a couple of my last posts, like there's a guy that's been posting like some quotes from like Rumi, and he has Sufi dancers on there, and I just, that energy that just comes back from them spinning is just so awesome. So, Sufi dancing is a system which connects one with the divine source through ritual treatment of motion. If you have grouse medicine in your cards, undertake a meditation on the various qualities of movement within your world. Begin by visualizing the sun as one member of a huge group of stars swirling in the massive pinwheel shape of the Milky Way. Then draw yourself out of this pinwheel of light and into the spiraling of your own DNA's double helix. And there's that double helix, man. Connect it to that space, just like we'll connect it to these beautiful animals here in a moment. And an arrangement similar to a rope ladder coiled like a corkscrew. Analyze the way you move through your world. How do you picture yourself in the act of locomotion? What kind of reaction do you create with the energy you send into your universe? What words would you use to describe the way you move through both the material and spiritual worlds? In the final analysis, is your movement compatible with the greatest desires and goals? Many spiritual disciplines ask that you cease all external movement in order to recognize the inner life. Grouse medicine, however, is an invitation to the dance. Grouse celebrates the divine source through its sacred spiral dance and offers this dance to you as a gift. You can spend a lifetime learning Grouse's lessons on how to harmonize your dance with Mother Earth's cycles and how to offer the dance as a creation of selfless beauty. I love that. That is so beautiful. Yes. Right in alignment, you guys. And whoa and boom again. So let's go to grouse. Not grouse, I mean antelope. And this is action, you guys. And we had the antelope, which came in as a reverse. So it's run antelope, teach me of action and its pace. Quickly, quickly, so I may run with grace. And so with this is going to be what is hindering us this week. Contrary antelope is a signal that you are not listening and not acting on the will of Great Spirit. You may be taking more than your share. Antelope medicine, in the contrary, makes you crazy and quarrelsome. You will certainly be indecisive and not know what direction to turn. You might be lying to yourself and others. Stop lying, even if you think it will get you off the hook. Contrary antelope will trip you at every turn. Quit being so conventional and following others all the time. Take your own authority. Let antelope's heart beat strong in you, and you will know the way. But as always, the message is do it. The fear of the unknown subsides once action begins. You got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. Contrary antelope may also be telling you that a decision to start is now necessary. The main element in procrastination is lack of conviction. To honor your chosen destiny is to honor your commitment to doing what you proclaim you are doing. Walking your talk is the essence of antelope people. Talking your walk is contrary antelope personified. To right contrary antelope, 3 steps are necessary. 1, have the desire to do something. 2, make the firm decision to begin the action. And 3, do it. Just do it, you guys. I heard that somewhere with Nike. So, this is really good. So let's pull them in. And then I just kind of really just feel drawn right now to read the poem from the snake, which is transmutation. So let's take all of this energy that we're getting from these animals and take that power and energy of the snake and transmute that into our lives, into our realities, transmute it to effect change every time we catch ourselves lying to ourselves or judging ourselves or being that harsh critic or whatever your problems are, like transmute it. You have that power. Snake, come crawling, there's fire in your eyes. Bite me, excite me, I'll learn to realize. The poison transmuted brings eternal flame. Open me to heaven to heal me again. Yeah, needed to hear that. So good. I love it. So you guys, let's do this. It's not going to be a hugely long meditation, as I was saying, but let's pull in the critters and just kind of take a moment with that. So if you're in a position, we're going to take a drink of water. If you have water nearby, let's drink some water and hydrate ourselves and bring in the power of water into our realities. Okay, so wherever you're at now, if you can take a seat or lie down, whichever is most comfortable for you. And just take a breath in through your nose and out your nose. And just check out where you are today, how you're breathing. And then breathe in deeper. Get that oxygen deep into that belly. And then exhale any dense negative energy you might be feeling out into your reality, out of your system, out of you. And breathe in beautiful crystalline healing light. And breathe that into your vessel. Breathe in the power of love and crystalline light. Very good. And keep on breathing in that light and exhale any dense negative energy. And when you feel that you have exhaled all that negativity that's blocking you, breathe in the light and exhale that light out into your reality and into our space. And we're going to call in some animals. And while you're there, breathe in. In your space, with your mind's eye, draw a triangle above your head and connect the points of that triangle below your feet. And then draw another triangle below you and connect the points of that triangle above you. And breathe in crystalline light. And breathe out that loving, beautiful crystalline light into this space, into your Merkaba, into this geometry that you have built. Now draw your attention to the image of an opossum. Divert your attention to the possum. Oh, possum, roll over. Are you really dead? Or just playing possum? Was it something I said? Now imagine the wires coming out the top of your head, that you have a wiring system. And this wiring system looks like that of your DNA. And take that and connect that to the heart of the possum. And breathe in. Breathe in the power. Breathe in the light. Breathe the possum's image down into your mind and down through your throat and into your heart. Thank you for coming, possum. And breathe and set it still. And now we divert our attention again to that of the image of the grouse, spiraling into our reality. And take more of your wires and spiral your helix to the heart of the grouse. Grouse of the sacred spiral, leading us on to reach the everlasting heights where we can live as one. And breathe the grouse down into your mind, down through your throat and into your heart that's receiving. And spiral the sacred message out and spiral that sacred message back in. Very good. And leave that for a moment. And now we call in the power of the antelope. Very good. The power of taking action within this space. See the magnificent creature within your mind's eye and connect more of your wires to the heart and breathe the antelope in. Breathe it down into your heart. Run, antelope, teach me of action and its pace. Quickly, quickly, so I may run with grace. Very good. And now just breathe and clear your mind and hear any messages that they might be sharing while I play my sacred flute for you. Very good. I feel the power of the transmutations of energy that goes within this space. I love you guys very much. The journey to loving yourself and empowering yourself is right here with you. Take your right hand and place it over your heart and give yourself the love first and the care first. And take your left hand and place it over your right and receive that love. Receive it within this space. You are awesome. You're doing the best you can right now, this moment. You're a badass. And I see you. You see you now. And transmute. Ignite that power. And slowly come back into your reality. And take your hands and wrap them around in your arms. Wrap them around your body in a hug and an embrace. And I'm hugging now and taking that embrace. And I'm giving you a hug from here. And we're all hugging each other in a ginormous group hug. You are not alone. But there is a portion of this journey you do alone. But here we are, loving each other. And any moment you feel, oh, I'm so alone, you wrap your arms around yourself and come back to this moment. Close your eyes and feel it. I'm here hugging you, though I'm a distance away. I'm right there with you. Thank you for coming and being here with me tonight on this awesome Sunday and continuing this journey and this path with me. And anyone that's new and that's here, I love you too. And I care. So let's like and share this video and spread the message and get more people to come and be within this space. It's raising the consciousness of the world one person at a time and one step at a time. And that starts with you. And I value you for being here. Hear my throat? It's because I care. Kevin, I love you. Son of the sun. Love you, Patty. It's awesome. It's awesome. One last hug. Okay. I'm going to go and be with more people physically in this reality, this next psychedelic space. I'm going to a new portal, you guys. I'm going into a new dimensional reality as the point I walk next door. And I balance and I love the energy that you've given me to go and spread and share into my immediate reality and grow even bigger than I was the last time I saw you. It is what has helped water me, and I am growing more and more each and every day. Perfect. I love you guys. I will look forward to seeing you in here next week or any other time that maybe I'll pop back on and post some more. But next Sunday at 6 o'clock, I look forward to seeing you. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Bye, guys.